everyone and welcome to the Indie Crew channel. I'm your host Platt and today I'll be showing you the dystopian masterpiece, Papers, Please. Papers, Please was released on the 8th of August 2013 on Steam and mobile devices. The game was developed by Lucas Pope and published by 3909 LLC. The game costs £8.50 or around $10 on Steam, or £4 or around $5 on mobile devices. In the story, you play as an unnamed border inspector working for the fictional country of Ostotska. The game takes place over the course of 32 in-game days, in which the player can achieve one of 20 endings. These endings can range from going into debt, killing an innocent civilian, to even aiding a terrorist organisation. The unnamed border inspector gets his job when his name is drawn during the 1982 October Labour Lottery, and he is assigned to a border checkpoint. He works this job to provide for his family, which consists of his mother-in-law, uncle, wife and son. During the course of the game, the player faces choices which may affect the ending. You can choose to rebel against the dictatorship in Ostotska, or you can follow the government's harsh rules in fear of punishment or even death. One of the first choices the player is faced with is on day 3, when a man called Georgi walks into the border checkpoint without his passport. Once the man leaves, he appears again on day 4 with a clearly faked passport. You can let him in, which will lead to a citation, but you'll also receive an Obristan token and an achievement. If you reject him, he'll still come back until he has the correct papers on day 10. Georgi also proceeds to return on later dates with more significant choices. Another major choice is choosing to help the terrorist organisation ISIC. The gameplay in this game is great. It's simple yet complicated at the same time. Each day adds and removes certain rules that the people need to follow to be allowed entry into Ostotska. Day 1's mechanics are simple. Only Ostgotskan citizens are allowed. If someone meets the requirements of that day's rules, you can stamp their passport with a green tick stamp, but if they violate any of the rules, you have to stamp their passport with a giant red X stamp. You can also use the inspection tool to quickly identify any problems with the person's papers. If you mess up and make a mistake, you get a citation, which at first is just a warning, but after the 3rd mistake you get penalised. The penalty is less money at the end of every day. The money you earn can be used at the end of the day. You are presented with a menu showing you the current condition of your family, and depending on how much money you have, you might have to shut off the heating or not feed your family. Eventually, your family members could even die from hunger or illness if you fail to make enough money. Money can also be used to purchase upgrades for your booth. These upgrades are mainly just keyboard shortcuts. Day 2 and onwards introduce new rules and requirements for acceptance into Ostotska. Some of these rules include entry tickets for foreigners, ID cards for Scotsman citizens, and even replacing rules like the entry tickets for the entry permit. By the end of the game, all the rules really add up to create a stressful experience of trying not to make any mistakes. After a while, certain weapons are made available, such as tranquilizer guns and even a sniper rifle. These weapons can lead to several interesting endings. These weapons are also used against bombers, which either appear randomly or at scripted moments, but can also be used against regular civilians or security guards. After completing ending 20, a 5-digit code is given to the player. Once the player enters the code on the main menu, they will unlock endless mode. The art style in Papers, Please is hard to describe. It's pixel art at its finest. It manages to capture the bleak atmosphere of the USSR with very few colours. All the NPC characters are always frowning. If I remember correctly, none of them smile, which again adds to the bleak atmosphere and the dystopian society of this game. The art style also looks very rough and uninviting. It portrays the game's world as a bleak, hopeless dystopia perfectly. Papers, Please only has 3 songs in its soundtrack. The last 2 are tied towards certain endings, but the first track, known as the main menu theme, is iconic. In fact, you've most likely heard it before. The song feels very strong and intense, and it's certainly one of my favourite main menu themes of all time. The other 2 songs simply don't come anywhere near to the quality of the main menu theme, although they are still good. Overall, I would give Papers, Please a very well earned 8.5 out of 10. Papers, Please is a game about decisions and choices. The game often makes you feel bad about your actions, similar to Spec Ops: The Line or the Walking Dead Telltale series. Both games I highly recommend. The game makes you regret the way you treated the characters. The game presents these moral problems in such a way it makes you second guess yourself constantly. Papers, Please is a masterclass on morals and government corruption. Thanks to Silver for the incredible thumbnail, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider joining our community Discord. Both Silver's channel and the Discord server can be found in the description. Have a good one.
with honey,